Good morning, y'all. This your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. And I know y'all heard the news yesterday evening or whatever. Zach Martin has now retired. He finally made his decision to not play football anymore. After, 11 seasons? That's it. And this past season, he didn't, he got injured, so he didn't play much. So, really, 10 full seasons. 9-time Pro Bowler, 9-time All-Pro, Zach Martin. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer for real. I guess you can say, I don't know if I'm going to go as far as say that the Great Wall of Dallas Part 2 is done. Travis Frederick is gone. Tyron Smith is gone. And now, Zach Martin. How do you guys feel about that? Now, one thing I can say good about the Cowboys is that they do draft offensive linemen well. As you can see, we've had those guys. So, I feel like, we can develop more guys and get them up to snuff. Now, to replace Zach Martin in that place, before I get to that, I just wanted to say, just all praise for Zach Martin, man. He put it all out there in the field. He always played at an all-star elite level, except for this past year. But, a lot of people don't understand that, these players put their heart and soul into this game, and sometimes you don't reach the pinnacle. You don't reach the Super Bowl, and it's like, dang, was it all for naught? But I know that the ultimate goal is to reach the Super Bowl. We all know that. But, sometimes you don't make it there. But that doesn't take away from your career and the things that you have done. The fact that, out of the, 11 years that he's been in the league, he went to the Pro Bowl and got named for it 9 times. Like, that's not just the Pro Bowl, but all pro in general. First team all pro, As y'all know, he was originally drafted in the first round in the 2014 draft out of Notre Dame. At the 16th spot where the Cowboys picked him. Yeah, I remember that whole controversy. Was that Zach Martin? I think with the whole Johnny Manziel thing, Jerry wanted Johnny Manziel. Was that? Wasn't that year? Yeah, because Dak came out at 16, so because they were looking for a young quarterback to, eventually be the heir apparent of Tony Romo at the time. But yeah, I know it's a glare right now because it's this angle that I'm at right now. All right, I'm back. Good Lord, that thing is bright. Good early morning. Look at that. Look. You get a little bit of. Yeah, let me try to get in the shade a little bit. But yeah, also he got NFL 2010's All-Decade Team, and just a stand-up guy, and I love it. Just honors all over the place. Walter Payton Man of the Year as well. Both him and Dak have that, I believe, and Jason Witten. Yeah. He had 152 starts in the 10 full seasons that he played. And then, when he went down with that ankle injury, come to find out that it was actually a degenerate injury that plagued him for some time, but he still played through it and tried to get himself to 100% every day to play. So just like with Travis Frederick, when he played, he had that forgive me if anybody that listens to this has this disease, autoimmune disease. I can never pronounce it right. Guillain-Barré syndrome. I can never pronounce it correctly, but it attacks your nervous system. And when Travis Frederick played, as you guys remember, he always would have situations where randomly his nerves would just he wouldn't be able to control his nerves. And just imagine being out there blocking in the game, and then next thing you know, you can't control your functions and in your arms and stuff when you're trying to block and and shed these defensive linemen, and then next thing you know, boom, defensive lineman comes around you and sacks your quarterback. Now that's what Travis Frederick was dealing with. That's why he had to retire early. Now with Zach Martin, everybody thought that, okay, well, is he going to give it another year to try to reclaim that eliteness? But he has nothing else to prove. In my eyes, he's done enough. Save his body for his family, for his kids, for his wife, so he can live a full life after football. Because people don't understand, you have to make a decision when you retire. Do I want to continue playing to risk injury more and possibly having a devastating injury where it affects me the rest of my life, or should I just take my chips, put them in, leave now, and have my dignity and have my health for my future? Because after football is important, because once football is over, that's when real life starts. And these guys are, married, and they got kids, and they want to be able to play with their kids. They want to be able to keep up with them and go to their events and do things. And a lot of players still work around the NFL. They work around the teams that they played for. They work in the communications department, photography, things of that nature. So or coaching, whatever they want to do, you want to remain healthy so you can do these things where you're not confined to a wheelchair or stuff like that. Those of you that never played football, it's like getting into a car accident every day when you play. That's why the game's only once a week, not like how basketball where they can play 3 to 4 times a week. It's crazy. But yeah. Now to the replacement. Now I think the Cowboys, I'm not going to say they're okay, but I like Brock Hoffman. I like his grit. I like his energy. I like what he brings to the table. I also like TJ Bass. These young guys, and now that Zach Martin is gone, your elder statesman now is Terrence Steele and Tyler Smith. So those guys are like your elder guys in the room, which is crazy right now. So they're the ones that, went from rookie status. Well, I know Tyler did a couple of years ago, being a rookie. And then now he's, leading the pack with these guys. Because remember when Tyler Smith came out, a lot of you guys didn't like Tyler Smith because, the penalties in college and things of that nature. Now, I think that our new offensive line coach, Connor Riley from Kansas State, is definitely going to help in this capacity. Now, I don't mind if they go get a free agent guard, just somebody that's a placeholder. They don't have to be, all-star status, you know what I'm saying? Like, just somebody that can get the job done. Somebody that still has some athleticism in them, because one thing I can say about these young guys that we do have on offensive line, they're young and athletic. What they may lack in pure strength, they have an athleticism. I think this might help Guyton too. With Colin Riley coming in here and Cooper Beebe being here. Remember, both Cooper Beebe and Deuce Vaughn, even though Deuce Vaughn is a running back, they both went to Kansas State where Connor Riley was, and Connor Riley coached them. And he knows those two guys very well. So it's one of those things where I know Cooper Beebe is excited right now because he's got his old coach in there, and I think this offensive line in general will help. A lot of people were down on Terrence Steele, but I got a feeling that Terrence Steele is going to be back playing better this year, because I said this all season and nobody was talking about this. Mike Solari, and not to talk about Mike, I'm not going to say he's trash. Mike Solari is old, right? Old philosophies, old ways of thinking, not knowing how to develop young guys because your philosophies are from the past. Same thing with Mike McCarthy. Great coach, but just, stuff gets stale. You have to rejuvenate. And if you're not able to do that, you got to get out the way and let the young guys. This NFL is changing, and you have to be innovative. And innovation wins right now. The trenches still win, but innovation helps because you have to be able to move with times. And the Cowboys are behind in times right now. We're very predictable. We're not using motion. We're not moving on offense. We're not moving our guards and centers and tackles. So when we were doing that in Dak Prescott's first season, we were getting big holes for Zeke, big holes for other running backs, big holes for DeMarco Murray when he was here. Big holes. We were moving. We were shifting. We need to get back to that. And I think that that's what's going to happen this year under Connor Riley. He's going to get these young guys moving and using their hands and dipping and pulling and getting to that second level. And I think that that's going to help this offensive line and these running backs very well, which in turn will help Deuce Vaughn. I think that Deuce Vaughn, now going into a third season, can you believe that? Now going into his third season, if he makes the roster, that is, which I think he will, because he's got Connor Riley here. And he's going to be able to step up in a big way because Connor Riley knows how to use him. I keep saying this. Everybody was like, oh, well, Deuce Vaughn's 5'5", he's useless. No. Look at his Kansas State tape. That boy was getting up in there. Pause. Or is it? But if you can get Deuce Vaughn to play like that and get some space, ooh, that's all he needed, some space and a little bit of hole. Pause. Get him in there. 5'5", they can't see him. That's a secret weapon right there. You don't have to use him every down. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, you can have both running backs in, man, come on, man. The possibilities. You could run like whoever. If we get Genty or Omarion, the Omarion guy, I think he's from North Carolina. But I mean, this is a running back heavy draft, so you know you can get some of these guys that even with just retooling the offensive line would definitely help the offensive line. But yeah, if Ashton Genty is there, go get him. Stay packed. Like at 12, you could get something of good quality at 12, even if it's not a running back. I mean, Burden might be there. Who knows? Hell, you might find a good tackle there. But I do like in the second round, the tackle out of Ohio State. Get him. I'd be cool with that. You know, develop these young guys, get these guys in here, and just do their thing. And I just, at the end of the day, I just think that it'll help this team overall on offense. And, you know, because that was the biggest thing, protecting the quarterback and creating space for these running backs, period. So, with that being said, man, it's sad that Zach Martin is gone. Shout out to him. I know the Cowboys are going to do a big event for him this week. Idolizing his career, and let's just wait for him in 5 years to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. In the meantime, between time, got to get to work, man. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Y'all have a great day. Peace out.